I'm live. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dark Discussion podcast. I'm Isaac, or Dark Isaac. Back with the fourth episode. It's been a while. I know I said I wanted to do this weekly, but it's been about, I guess, it's pushing 3 weeks. It's been a while, and there's a few reasons I pushed off doing the fourth episode. And I'm going to cover that too. But yeah, I have a list of topics for today. I have no guest today because since I took that 3 week break, I wanted to cover everything on my own because quite a few things have happened, both to me personally and in the public. And before I start talking about each segment, I'm just going to clear up why I haven't done the fourth episode in a while. It's because, well, first I put it off because of George Floyd and the riots and the protests and all of that. Because it just I wouldn't have felt right to do a podcast talking about random shit while all of this stuff is going on. It just wouldn't have felt right to me. So I postponed it from there. I didn't want to ignore the situation and talk about stuff for a podcast. I didn't want to put his name in the title. I didn't want to have a podcast centering around that because one, don't want to look like I'm asking for attention for it. And two, I just don't feel like that would have been respectful. So yeah, when that happened, I decided to put it off. But then, school happens. I sometimes when I work so hard on Stolen Studios, I tend to forget that I am 14. Basically the due date for my marks to go in for school was last Friday. So I finished my science culminating project and I finished all of my math work. So yeah, that took me some time to do. It was very stressful because I'm not a good schooler. I don't school. I don't do the school very much. I know I should, but I didn't. But I finally did. So I neglected doing it that week as well because I just wanted to not. I know that if I focused my energy on anything else, it would have been a problem for me. So yeah, now we're here, I guess. Yeah, we're here now, and I'm doing the fourth. I also have pink hair. I realize now I didn't mention that, but I just figured it would have been seen on my Instagram. My hair is pink, and I shaved my face, which I have never done before because I just didn't care enough. Gang shit. So I have a few things to talk about here. I also asked you guys some questions on Instagram. But I'm going to save that for last, just because. So I had my first song to really, I guess, get popular to an extent. Shortly after the last episode of the podcast, shortly before the last episode of the podcast, I released my album Innocent Until Proven Guilty. 14 songs. I was very happy with the way it turned out. And it's on all streaming platforms, by the way, if you haven't checked it out. And yeah, there was a song on it, one of the two songs with a feature called My Medicine, My Remedy. Or is it the other way around? I should know this. Is it I know my own songs, don't worry. But yes, I had a song on that album with, what's it called? I should know this. There's a reason I don't know it very well, and I'll get into that. It's My Remedy, My Medicine, featuring Becca, aka Becca is Sleeping. That song currently has about 32K streams on Spotify, which is unreal because my most popular song has not gotten over 200. And my most popular video out of my 5 years of doing videos has gotten to about 10K. And this song is at 32,000 and has gotten my monthly listeners to over 900. And yeah, that's just like, it's just crazy to me because I have never had anything get that big. 32,000 plays on one song is insane to me. Like when I release music videos, which I don't often, but when I do, I've gotten 50 views in a day and been surprised beyond belief. Like 50 views in a day was crazy. 50 views period is still pretty crazy to me because my level of popularity is very, very low. So when I wake up like a week after the album comes out and my monthly listeners go from my monthly listeners go from 19 to 30, and I'm like, why did that happen? Just why did that happen? I don't get it. And then now they've gone up another 900. And that's just, it's crazy to me. I've never, ever received that much attention or success, period, for anything I've ever released. And I don't do what I do for that reason. But, you know, obviously when it happened, it's still really goddamn exciting. And the funny thing is, that song was going to be scrapped from the album. I was really thinking of scrapping it because I scrapped multiple songs from the album. I have about 6 songs that are just never going to come out because I didn't think they were good enough. And I love the song, My Remedy, My Medicine, but the feature, Becca, did 400,000 times better than me. So you know, like, no disrespect to her. She did amazing. She's very talented. Again, you should go check out her EP, which I really enjoy. Just look up Becca on Spotify. But yeah, she just did so much better than me that I was thinking, you know, it's my album. So, you know, maybe I shouldn't do this, you know, because, you know, it's just, she did amazing. She did great. But it's my project. And I don't want to look like I'm half-assing something, which I didn't. I'm just far less talented. But yeah, I thought, you know what? It's a great track. I did fine, regardless of the feature. I did fine on it. So I put it on, and now it is by far the biggest song I've ever made. Ghost on my YouTube channel has about 200 views, and that's pretty damn crazy to me. And now this is 32,000. So, and you know, like, it's crazy to me because, like, you know, the feature on it, like, that song has more streams than her most streamed song. And like a lot of the artists that I've like found on SoundCloud and enjoyed, my most viewed song, my most played song now has more plays than their most played song. And it's just like, it's crazy to me because I've never gotten anywhere with what I do. Like, you know, I've gotten, you know, my first channel had about 200 subs. My most viewed video had about 10K views, which was pretty big. And I've had a few videos that hit 1,000 to 2,000. But just one song off of one album, and that song was going to be ripped from the album. I was going to take it off the album because I just wasn't satisfied with my performance. But I put it on there, and it is by far my biggest song. Like, it's so funny to go to my Spotify page and see My Remedy, My Medicine, 32,000 plays, and then it says, and then the other 4 under 1,000. Like, it doesn't even have a number because it's so low, under 1,000. Yeah, and what's weird though, I said this on my Instagram story if you follow me on there. Spotify actually started taking away streams from the song. They've since been put back, unless I just got that many views that fast, but I feel like that's not possible. I'm pretty sure they put them back. But I'm just wondering why that happened. So my first assumption was that they thought I was botting, because I don't know much about how Spotify works in that department, but I know from my time on YouTube that if they think someone is botting views, likes, or subs, they try to remove the bots. So I was thinking Spotify may have thought that I was botting, so they did that. But, you know, no, I can look at all my stats, and I can see, you know, the countries of the listeners, the gender, the age, the device they listen on. I can see all of this. And yeah, it all adds up. It was just in a lot of algorithmic playlists. You know, Spotify suggests things through playlists. So yeah, it didn't make sense, but they've since been added back. I haven't checked on the amount of plays today, but I don't know how high it could have. I don't know how much higher it could have gone, but it's just crazy. And I did say on Instagram that I would do something. All I said was I'd do something. I said, tell me something to do, and I'll pick one of them if I hit 1,000 monthly listeners. Right now, I'm about 935, about 935 ish. And yeah, the numbers aren't going up as fast as they were at one point. Because, you know, obviously it's not as new anymore, so it's not in the same playlists and stuff like that. But, you know, you never know because it is still going up slowly, just not as fast. So if it does happen, I will do something, of course. Like, I wanted to hit 100 monthly listeners by the end of this year, and I was like, that's not going to happen. Like, I try to strive big, and that's what I was doing, but it was just like, no, it's not going to happen. There's no way in hell it's going to happen because I was stuck at 20 for 5 months. Like, it's not going to go up times 5 by the end of the year. But we might hit 1,000, and that's crazy to me. But yeah, again, big shout out to Becca. If you want to find her on music platforms, on streaming platforms, she is just Becca. But on YouTube, look up Becca is Sleeping. She has she's a great singer, and she has a lot of good songs in my opinion, and she is very underrated. So big shouts to her for letting me use the hook. Yeah, and it was cool, and I again, I really like that song, but you know, I didn't want to look like shit, but it was still a great song for the album, and I still think I did decent. So yeah, I left it on. So yeah, we're gonna transition topics in a second. Dank Infant is here. I know you, and say my username. I don't know if I wanna. Okay, well, don't cancel me, but the buy bitch is here. No, the buy-in bitch. I don't even know what that means. The buy-in bitch. What does that mean? Do I want to know? Whatever. So all right, so if you're watching this after the stream is up, you can still see the chat if you are intrigued as much as I am. But we're going to transition topics. Which one are we going to discuss first? Well, I guess since I was talking about my music, I might as well talk about the one and only King of New York, the one and only I got arrested, so I'm cool. 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine was out of prison, I believe, when I did the first podcast. But then, you know, the next one, I had my cousin on with me. Didn't feel like talking about it. Then the next one was because my 5-year YouTube anniversary. So I haven't talked about 6ix9ine much publicly until now. But yes, of course, the one and only 6ix9ine, the one and only I have no talent but screaming, so give me millions, has been out of prison. You're supposed to have 47 years. He got 2. Actually, it was like a year and a half, wasn't it? No, it was a year and a half. So yeah, he is back, and he is making music again. The one and only 6ix9ine is back to making music, and he has currently released 2 songs, Gooba, which I did review on the Dark Discussion Instagram account, and Trolls with Nicki Minaj. Now, I don't like Nicki Minaj. I think she sucks. But she certainly has made good songs. And I don't even I literally I don't know if any of you remember this, but when I had my what the fuck was my second channel called? Dark1saac's TV. I made that channel just to do videos rather than music, which I've since left that. But I did a video about 6ix9ine. It was called 6ix9ine Rapper Review. I reviewed his songs, and he's bad. Like, I already knew that, but I just I wanted to see what he was actually all about. Yeah, he's very bad. And yeah, he's very bad. Where was I going with that tangent? He's out of prison and he's making music. He released his song Gooba. So I reviewed that. Yes, I reviewed that on the Dark Discussion Instagram account. I think I gave it a 2 out of 10. Maybe I gave it a 3. And I've said this before. I did mention this on the first podcast, which was I don't hate 6ix9ine's performances. I don't like his overall style of the intensity and the screaming. I don't dislike that. Like, I don't criticize screamo artists pretty much ever. Like Scarlord, for example, is probably the biggest screamo rapper. Well, I mean, of course, there's like X and stuff, but like, people that only do screamo and like stick to screamo. Scarlord is probably the biggest, and like I don't care for his music much. I like some of his songs, but I don't like hate on him as much as I do 6ix9ine, because 6ix9ine is one of those cases of, I don't hate the sound that much, but he just has nothing to say. His especially in Gooba, honestly, because obviously it's his comeback song, but I just wish he had more to say after being gone for so long. But of course, I guess he just wanted to say, "I've been gone, suck my dick, I'm back." Yeah, 6ix9ine. I wish he didn't come back. I wish he didn't, because the thing is, man, what he did, sometimes people get life in prison, and he should have gotten like nearly 50 years. People's lives are ruined because of what he does. And it's like, I just hate it when celebrities, get a clean slate for no reason. Like even X, who I am a fan of. When he was in prison and people were saying free X, I was never one of those people, because that's stupid. If you can't you did the crime, do the time. I think that's stupid. Like, I like X a lot. I love his music, his personality. But he did the crime, so do the time. That's how the world works. That's how law works. I hate it when someone says free blank. Like, no, like to this day, people still say free Kodak or free Take. No, just because they're famous doesn't mean they should get off the hook so easy. And I think 6ix9ine, man, he got so lucky. And it's such bullshit. Like, it was supposed to be 47, got dropped to like 30, and now it's, a year and a half, and he's going to be around for a fucking while, surely. I don't know if he's going to go back to prison, but it just wouldn't surprise me. Like, it just wouldn't. And I want him to go back to prison because he should be in prison. But yeah, I did the review of Gooba on the Dark Discussion Instagram accounts, which I didn't do for Trolls. I haven't posted on there in a while, actually, but I'll get back to that soon. Trolls, is it better or worse? I don't know. I mean, Nikki actually, part of her verse was okay. She actually came in with a decent flow at some point in time. But yeah, 6ix9ine, not only is he so shit, he actually did like the exact same flow that he did in Gooba. I can't remember even what it was. I remember in Gooba, it was your bestie is a dick sucker, big trucker, fucking. He did that flow, and then he did the exact same fucking thing and he did the same thing in Trolls, except it was singing, but it was dreadful. Honestly, it's probably worse than Gooba. Actually, I'd say it's the same level as Gooba, because I think 6ix9ine did worse, but Nikki made it a small bit better. But yeah, 6ix9ine, I hate him a lot. I can't stand that guy for so many reasons. 6ix9ine, I literally can't fucking stand him. I can't even stress how much I can't stand him, because I saw this post on Instagram of him talking about how fast his views go up. He was talking about Trolls. He's like, we're all in quarantine. I'm in quarantine, and I'm getting 32 million views in a day. What are you guys doing? He's only getting views because he's been gone for a year and a half because he committed many violent crimes. He basically flexes the fact that he was in prison. Like he's getting a lot of views because he was arrested. That would happen with Melly. That would happen with Kodak. That would happen with TK. Maybe not TK. He's not as popular. But like he's basically just saying, I got arrested, so I'm getting more popular. So I'm big swag. I hate him so much, man. And the funny thing is, I think Lil Pump is worse than him. But as a person, I gotta say, I can stand Lil Pump. I can stand him a lot more than I can stand 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine just, oh my god, I hate him so much. He keeps every day, man. There's a reason to hate him more. Like he was this obnoxious asshole, and then he made obnoxious asshole music, and then he gets arrested, and then, well, actually, first he accused Trippie Redd of being a pedophile. He did that too. Then he gets arrested, and now he's out of prison so early, and now he's being an obnoxious asshole again about the fact that he was arrested. I hate that guy. I wish he didn't come back. I just don't understand how he got off the hook so easy. Like, again, Melly has probably life in prison. TK has, I think, 55 years. Kodak, I think, has another 2 or 3. Like, why did 6ix9ine get off the hook so easy? I just genuinely don't get it. 47 years reduced to a year and a half. I genuinely just can't understand how that happens. Like, imagine if it came out tomorrow that Harvey Weinstein is being freed. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But that's besides the point, I guess. Yeah, 6ix9ine, he's back. He's making shit songs. He's being his shit self. Fuck that guy. Let's check on the chat. Oh boy, oh boy. Ooga Booga Gooba. I'm surprised he didn't name it that. Why did 6ix9ine call the song Gooba? He never said that. Then again, he never says any of the things he says in his fucking whatever. Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Huh? That's my favorite lyric. Don't worry. X was falsely accused. Well, that's not what I was talking about at all. He wasn't even arrested for that accusation. He was correctly accused of what he was imprisoned for. You can't say, no, he didn't rob those houses. No, he didn't have that gun. No, he didn't have those drugs. Like, that's just false. That happened. It happened. Yeah, everyone I know is a nut job. Next I wanted to talk about was the PS5. So I have a lot of mixed feelings about the PS5. And I certainly want to talk about it with guests when I start having them when I have them when I have them on. So the PS5 was announced. A lot of games were announced. I'm actually just going to pull up, see what songs. I just said songs. To see what games are announced, because I can't fully remember. But yeah, the PS5, I got mixed feelings about it. You know, when I said on Instagram that I thought it looked like garbage, the first thing that I was told was it looks way better than the Xbox. And I'm like, what do you mean? The Xbox is just a console. What the fuck is the problem with it? But yeah, people referring to the Xbox One X, which, yeah, it's garbage. It's straight garbage. I don't know what's going on with the Xbox One X. I don't know anything about it except for what it looks like. And wow, yeah, it's straight garbage. It's a fucking mini fridge. But that doesn't, just because something is also bad, just because something's competition is also bad, doesn't mean that the thing of question is good. The PS5, they keep doing the same bullshit with thing with the controllers, where the joysticks are in the middle instead of top, bottom on the sides. Just stupid. And I guess they at least realized what they did wrong with the PS4 with the trackpad at the top of the controller. That was stupid as fuck. But now there's an empty space on the controller, unless it does something that I'm unaware of. If it's still a trackpad, then it's still stupid. That's a really dumb concept. It's really small and takes up a lot of space to do relatively nothing in the grand scheme of things. I think what they did with the system was they just tried really hard to make it look futuristic, which is cool in ways, but it's still ugly. It still looks stupid. It just does. It looks really bad. It looks like an internet modem, as all the memes say, because that's just a fact. But fucking what I need to see the fucking games again. God damn it. I don't remember what it is at all. But yeah, it's just yes, it does. I agree. It does look better than the Xbox One X. But the thing is, like, I don't want either. That's the funny thing is I just don't want either at all. Because, like, they just both seem so fucking lame. And why can't I find any of the fucking information that I want? But, yeah, they just both look terrible. I can't lie. And so, yeah, you can argue with me out of which one's better or worse. I'd probably say, yeah, the PS5 looks better than the Xbox One X. But, you know, still, one of them's an internet modem with a bad controller. One of them's a fucking mini fridge that would take up your whole fucking room with a decent controller. And they both are probably going to be like $500 at the fucking minimum. So, yeah, that's a thing. And, you know, the thing is, like, I was never a big PlayStation guy, you know, like, yeah, you know, I wouldn't even call myself a gamer. I wouldn't put that label on myself. I definitely used to, because I used to be a lot more into video games, but you know, I'm a lot different than most people my age because the conversation is always Xbox or PS4. I've always been a Nintendo person because that's what I grew up with. You know, like I was introduced to the Nintendo systems. I was probably 2 when I first played fucking Donkey Kong 1981. And yeah, that's sort of just, you know, I grew up with that for like 12 years. And, you know, that's why I still love it so much in my heart. And I still love the games. Like, you know, I love Mario games. Pokemon games I like Pokemon games, but they get repetitive, but I do like them. You know, Zelda, Metroid I actually like. Also, I think can be repetitive, but the games don't come out that often. You know, even the Pikmin games, which rarely come out, I like those. Yeah, I was just always different than a lot of people my age. Everyone I know, all of my friends play Xbox or PS4 or PC for that matter. And, you know, that was just never me. And I tried to actually, you know, I really tried to convince myself to like the Xbox One. And I have an Xbox One. And the thing is, I do like it and I do use it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it comes to a point where I sell it because, you know, you know, it's just not worth it. Like I could get a good amount of money for that I could put into something much better and just, I wouldn't be losing much. I have a smart TV, so I don't, the entertainment features on it aren't important to me. The only thing is I like Halo. That's all it is. But again, I could get a good amount of money for an Xbox One console. So yeah. Anyway, the game's announced for the PS5. Spider-Man 2, Miles Morales. Game sounds sick because Into the Spider-Verse is sick, and the Spider-Man games usually have cool mechanics. But apparently, Spider-Man Miles Morales isn't a sequel to Spider-Man for the PS4. It's like a in between. So there's the Spider-Man for the PS4, and then there's just going to be this, and then it's going to continue. So the thing is that I'm thinking is if it costs full price, that sounds pretty bullshit. If it's cheaper, if it's half price, or at least, you know, less expensive than a full $80 game, makes sense. But if it's like a fraction of what people want it to be, if it's a fraction of a sequel, if it's a fraction of the original, I don't think anyone should pay full price for that game. But again, it seems cool. I like Into the Spider-Verse and the Spider-Man games, and I think combining them would be amazing. I think honestly, if it is just like an Into the Spider-Verse game, then it'll still be great. Like I know that movie would make the perfect fucking game. It would be crazy. You know, everything that I think a good game like that needs is in the movie. You know, like, you know, you could unlock characters over time. You could learn new abilities over time. There could be a story to it that's important, but not necessarily too important that distracts you from the actual gameplay itself. And Spider-Man mechanics are usually pretty solid. So Into the Spider-Verse game would be very sick. But I digress. Ratchet and Clank, I don't have an opinion. Horizon Forbidden West, I don't have an opinion. They're re-releasing GTA 5. Gang shit, it's been 7 fucking years. Last of Us, I don't really care. Star Wars game, probably gonna be the same as all the fucking other ones. Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, how I am with pretty much every single time a video game is released, let alone a console, is I don't want to get it straight away because price is going to go down and it's going to become more worth it over time. The Switch, for example, I really like the Nintendo Switch. But it shouldn't have come out when it did. Nintendo, I think, just was desperate to release something because Nintendo was just really desperate to release something because it had been a while since the Wii U come out, and PlayStation and Xbox were absolutely killing it. But the Switch shouldn't have come out when it did because it was not worth it. The game lineup when it first came out was not really good. It had Breath of the Wild, but like Mario Odyssey didn't even come out till way later. And you know, like YouTube and Netflix weren't even on the system until long after. Like the Switch shouldn't have come out when it did. But like now, it's half the price you would pay in March 2017, and there's way more games for it. So like, I don't think really anyone except for the really wealthy are really going to buy the PS5 when it comes out because it's going to cost a fortune and it's not going to have all the material that you want from a console. You know, I'm not saying it's going to be as bad as the Switch was at its release. Again, the Switch really fucked up its release. But yeah, it's just, you know, again, the game lineup so far is just, for me, not enough to buy a whole console. And like, the thing, it's just consoles are expensive. Like, I'm just middle class. There's certainly people more wealthy than me, but there's also certain people that are less well off than me. And it's like, man, I just still can't even fathom buying a console at release. That's just terrifying to me, man. Like, you know, the funny thing is, my dad actually got me a Nintendo Switch only like 2 months after it came out, and it was out of stock literally everywhere. I don't want to know how much it cost. I really don't. Fuck, man. And it just, you know, I love the Switch still. I really do. But its release was very poor. And I just think its release was especially poor, but I think every video game console's release isn't worth it. That's so, you know, the PS5 actual console looks really stupid, but PlayStation doesn't exactly have a great history of actual design of the console itself. And controller still doing the same mistakes. The game lineup just, you know, isn't very fulfilling. I'm hoping for more soon. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's so far there is nothing good to say about it because it sort of just looks like PlayStation 4, but looks weird and costs twice as much and has less games. You know, I feel like video game releases need to be bigger. Console releases need to be bigger. Like, I feel like the PS5, I feel like a console shouldn't come out till the game lineup is sick and worth it. Like, PS5 was announced with a few games. Why weren't those on the PS4? Oh yeah, money. Like, you got, like, I feel like, you know, but the thing is, these companies are so big, people love this shit, they're going to get it anyway. They're going to get their money anyway, so they don't need to put that much effort into it. But, like, I don't know, I just feel like you would have a lot more integrity if you released the console with a sick lineup. Because that would make the console way more fucking worth it. because you'd have way more to be excited about. Because right now, I feel like PS5, you have very little to be excited about. You have a few games to be excited about. And you just sitting on your hands waiting from that point. Like, again, stuff is going to come out, but you don't know what it's going to be. You don't know the next thing that's going to interest you. You don't know what it's going to be. It just doesn't seem worth it to me. And like, again, you know, like the Switch, for example, it didn't even have a Mario game on its release date. That's fucking dumb. Like, it just, there's not that much to be excited about. The Switch, actually, I feel like had way more excitement than the PS5 does because it was entirely new concept. It is still really the only console that switches from home console to handheld. And that's really cool. It's a really cool concept. And the Joy-Cons, I don't like the feel of them. They're kind of shitty, but the concept is exciting. PS5 just feels like the PS4 again. And I want more than that in a game announcement. I want more than that from a big fucking company working on a big fucking project with a load of fucking money. But, you know, I again, is something I don't really care about. The only PlayStation console I've ever owned is a PS2. And I don't even have that anymore. Actually, no, I had a PS Vita. They're handheld. Sold that real quick. Yeah, I just never been a PlayStation. Again, Nintendo is just sort of what I grew up with. You know what? The funny thing is, I think a lot more people like Nintendo than they care to admit. Because, you know, it's like Nintendo has more family-friendly games and it's more for all ages. I feel like more people enjoy them than they care to admit. Because, you know, Xbox and PS5 has the graphic violence, the nudity, the language. It has that, and that's cool. It's edgy. The Xbox PS4, so much more edgy. But who the fuck really cares? I don't know. That doesn't mean anything to me. You know, I don't care about that sort of stuff. For me, I want a good game that gives me enjoyment. That, you know, there's obviously multiple things that go into that, but it's just, you know, I don't understand how just that concept, not the gameplay itself, but that concept is enough to interest you. I don't get it. But, you know, of course, opinions are opinions. Obviously, you can like whatever you like. But for me, PlayStation, not my stuff. Xbox, I like Halo. I like the controllers. I still think the Xbox One controller is the best controller to ever exist. But overall, Nintendo has so many franchises that I love and that are so important. So yeah, PS5, I'm hoping for more. You know, as much as I don't care for it, at the same time, it's still like, it's still something that I just know, I know more has to come out of it. More has to come out of it. So we'll see. I digress. I'm going to talk about one more thing, and then I'm going to talk about some stuff from Instagram. The fuck just happened? Okay. So I just want to talk about some future projects that I'm working on right now. I posted on my Instagram saying, we're all in quarantine, and I love making music, so I'm going to release an EP this month, and that is still, of course, happening. 6-song EP. Also, during this time where I wasn't running the podcast, I was also working on a music video, which will be out 5 days? Maybe 5 days. And then, yeah, an EP is coming out at the end of this month. 6 songs, produced by JJ, Riddiman, and Caps Control. And yeah, I'm excited for that. It's not going to be as big as my last album was because, you know, of course, it's a fragment of the songs. But, you know, I wasn't going to release anything in between now and my next album, which, of course, is going to be a while because I just released one. But you know what? It's like, nah, I got all the free time in the world. Not really. I'm sort of pretty fucking busy nowadays, actually, but I have the time. I have stuff already. I'm going to put an EP out. So yeah, I'm going to have more podcasts before that. Probably 2 more episodes before the EP comes out. So I'll keep you guys updated with that, also on my Instagram. But yeah, that is going to come out. And of course, yes, podcast is going to be continuing. I want to do it once a week. I do. But again, this last while has been pretty hectic in the real world, which I am hardly a part of. And then my personal life, it's, you know, it's been a bit hectic. It's been a bit busy, but yes, the podcast is going to start back up weekly. and I want to start having guests on it. I want to bring my cousin back again, but also I just, I have guests that I don't want to spoil too much because, I'm talking to multiple people and I have multiple ideas, and I'm excited for that. But yeah, I got a music video coming out soon, EP coming out soon, and the podcast is going to be back to weekly. I don't have an exact date of the week that I want to do it. I was thinking of doing it every Wednesday, but I fucked that up. So I don't know if that's what it's going to be, but it may be. Who knows? I don't, because since I want to have guests, it's way harder to plan. But anyway, let's go on to what's on Instagram. I have to find it. I should have found this in advance. Actually, that would have been even fucking harder. Never mind. Didn't take that much. All right. So I said, all right. Ask me a question, motherfucker. Piss. Yes. Ask me a question. It was, what other guests do you want on the podcast? Again, I don't want to spoil much, but I have some people in the works. The people that I said on my Instagram story, I will repeat since I already said it publicly. I want to have Yo Budman on here. He already said he's down. I want to have my man Logan, aka Lohan126TV, on the show. He's already agreed. I don't have dates yet, but he's already agreed. And I want to have JJ on here, who I've not discussed it with a lot. But yeah, that would be that would be cool. What is your opinion on ACAB? Is that a thing people say, or do they just say ACAB? I'm gonna call it ACAB because it's easier to say. Anyway, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, that's a really that's quite the topic, I mean, of course it's topical, but it's quite the topic. It's just a shame that we haven't been able to progress more as a society. Then it's sad that we haven't been able to progress more as a society, but of course protests are going on. I completely support the message. Of course I support the message of Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. It's simple. It's a simple fact to me. The fact that anyone could possibly argue with that is mind-boggling to me. But yeah, of course I agree with all the fucking movements. I can't not agree with it. It's a shame where we still are. Of course things get better. Of course things have improved, but it's a shame that we are still not at a better point. However, the phrase ACAB, I don't say that because I don't agree with that. No. If you don't know, which I didn't even know till I guess 3 weeks ago, it's all cops are bastards. And, I don't agree with that. And, I've heard people say over this past few weeks, if you're in trouble, don't call 911 because they're not actually there for your safety. I can't agree with that. You gotta, there's still, I can't agree with all cops are bastards. There's certainly a lot of terrible cops, especially in the States. But, that doesn't mean all cops are bastards. Not all cops are bad people at all. There's so many great cops. And there's so many responsible cops in the world. And, I'm sure there are cops struggling at these times who have done nothing really wrong. And you have to feel bad for those people. Not that I'm saying that can compare to what us as a society have put, minorities through. I'm not saying that should be a reason for us to stop the movements. But, of course, I just can't agree with that phrase because there's a lot of great and responsible cops in the world. I know that for a fact. But, I agree with, the movements going on. Nobody should be treated differently for something that they can't control. Your physical appearance doesn't mean anything when it comes to your character, I don't think. So yeah, it's a more sensitive topic. I'm not, regarding topics like this, I talk about mental health and stuff like that, but this just isn't really a topic that I feel like I'm exactly qualified to discuss a lot, but it is what it is. I asked another question. Yeah, okay, here we go. I said to y'all, favorite song of mine, which that one no one responded to. So that's cool. Yeah, no one responded to that one. But people did respond to the next one, which was what is your favorite styles that I do? Because I do a lot of different styles. I honestly I don't even really do it as to like be a versatile artist. It's not exactly something I cared about a lot when I was starting off, and it's still not something I necessarily care about that much. What I care about is doing something that I feel I enjoy and that I am passionate about. So yeah, I asked you guys. Sorry, I am high as a kite. Apparently, I asked you guys your favorite style that I do is. Someone said you should do more screamo rap, which I was very surprised to hear. The fact that someone said you should do more screamo rap, I wasn't expecting that at all. But yeah, I mean, I certainly do have screamo songs on the way. I usually have one or more on an album. But screamo is just something that I've certainly done less over time. My first few projects, it was primarily screamo. And I've drifted away from that definitely, 100%. And not without reason, really. It's just because that style was the reason I did that style at the beginning was literally just because of my own insecurities. It was literally just I was too afraid and I was too insecure to have my regular voice out there for the world to hear in rap music. So I did the grizzly voice. I did the very aggressive sound to cover up to just cover up the fact that it's me. It was when I first started, I was very insecure about it because I had never done it before and I didn't know what I was doing. Clearly, because it's very bad. Like I don't blame my past self. It was very bad. It was bad. But I do still enjoy making some screamo songs, but I don't want to do it that often. Um, but yeah, I mean, on Innocent Until Proven Guilty, the interlude was a screamo. Only Rise was a screamo. That's about it. I don't care to do screamo that often. Well, actually, on my EP, All My Blood Was Gone, But I Was Still Bleeding, my EP with JJ, one of my favorite songs is Soul Eater, which is my best screamo song, and I think one of my best songs. The intensity of it and the delivery, which I normally don't get that right, I really like that song. That is one of my favorite songs I've made, and yeah, I if I can recreate that exact level of quality in a screamo song, I'll be doing more screamo. And I still will be doing more screamo. But it's just one of those things I don't feel the need to do that often. Again, I just do what I want to do. And hang on, there were fucking you should do more profound lyrical stuff. Yeah, that's of course I'm going to be doing that more. I actually have written a few songs recently where I definitely focused heavily more on lyrics. But when it comes to lyrics, it's like, there's like technical lyrics. There's technical lyrics, and then there's just like deep, heavy lyrics. I fall more into the deep, heavy lyrics. Like everything I do right comes from the heart. Everything I do right everything I write is real. But there's the technical rap. We're talking like Eminem and other lyrical rappers like that have like crazy flows, punchlines, double, triple entendres, inner rhymes, stuff like that. And that's stuff I have done. That is stuff I have worked with. That is stuff I'm still going to work with. But again, a lot of the time when I'm writing a song, I just put my heart and soul into it. So really, really caring about the technical side of it can take away from that. But again, there are times I've done it and the times I will be doing it more. My song BoJack Horseman definitely put a lot of effort into the lyrics on that. That's probably my fastest song today as well. Definitely put a lot more effort into the lyrics of that one. And there's also No Tear doesn't have a lot of inner rhymes, but the flow is very consistent. I really like that song a lot. I think I can put together some good flows, but like, again, the inner rhymes, the punchlines, the double, triple entendres, it's really impressive. And I think that can make someone a much more profound rapper. Of course, Eminem is probably the best ever because of all of the technical shit that he puts in his tracks. But for me, caring about that enough to really think about it just takes away the actual meaning of it. Like, it adds and also erases depth. Like, it erases depth in the sense that it erases the heaviness and the meaning from it. It can, at least, but it adds a lot of depth into the profound lyricism. So yeah, I'm going to be doing it more. There's going to be more, of course. But I'm not going to be doing it always. Like, I just can't do that to myself because, I feel like I'd really be, excuse me. I feel like I'd be really taking away something from myself by doing that too much. Gentle rap. Well, I'm going to take that as a joke, but I have done gentle rappy songs that I have really enjoyed. I did my on my EP with JJ. One of the songs was called Make Sure, where it was a very chill but also kind of eerie sounding track, and I really like that song. I mean, I wouldn't know what genre to call it. I would probably call it gentle rap. Maybe I can actually pull it up and just play a short bit for those of you that haven't heard it. But it's like my EP with JJ. I absolutely love that fucking EP. I think every song in there is cool. And the song Make Sure is arguably gentle rap. It's not singing, that's for sure. It's still definitely rap. But in a new place, gotta make sure that I put on a new face. Gotta make sure that they can't see through my pain. Gotta make sure that it all seems okay. Certainly sounds better when the bass is harder. But yeah, stuff like that is definitely stuff I have done. Gentle rap is not something I plan to do consistently, though. Fucking all right. Piss. Fucking all right. So I also said make an assumption about me, and I only got 2 responses. Arguably only 1, because one of the responses was hot. The actual one was you like Eminem. Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm definitely I'm not a stan, but yes, I do really like Eminem. Yep, all of his older stuff and his newer stuff, I think there's something enjoyable about it. Except for Revival. Revival was very bad. It was very bad. It was bad. It was very bad. Revival, bad. Big bad. Revival, bad. But yes, I like Eminem. Music to be Murdered by is his most recent album, and most of you know I really enjoyed that album. But I don't think he really has a bad album except for Revival. Relapse also isn't super good, but I wouldn't label it. There's one more thing I did, which is I said that if I hit 1,000 monthly listeners, what do I do? Someone said, JJ actually said, try recreating your favorite song's instrumental. Okay, I don't know if you meant favorite song by me or favorite song in general. Both would be hard, but by me would be easier because I'm used to working with it. Either way, probably not going to be doing that. I don't produce that often. I do it sometimes, and I do enjoy it when I do. but I'm not an amazing producer. That's not, I've learned about it. I can do some shit, but like, that's just, that's not really my alley. Over time, why am I not in focus? Focus on me. Focus. All right. Yeah, over time I've learned about how to structure songs, and I focused a lot more on the rap element rather than producing. But I've learned some things, so I might do a video. I actually have a couple of videos I want to do revolved around producing. So I'll consider doing those in the near future, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. That would be pretty hard. Eat an entire pack of Bean Boozled. I've been on YouTube for 5 years. Only once have I ever thrown up on camera. That was the Bean Boozled challenge. I did the Bean Boozled challenge. I played the impossible quiz. If I lost, I ate one. Threw up in a bag on that video. Only once have I ever thrown up on camera. Bean Boozled challenge. So if you think that I'm going to eat an entire pack of Bean Boozled for 1,000 monthly listeners, I can't fucking do that. That's a big fucking no. I threw up after eating one. On that video, I only had 3. You think I'm going to eat the pack? No, I'm not. That was my point with this. I will not be eating a pack of Bean Boozled. Send Bobs and vegans. I wish I knew what that meant. And that is the only so the 2 suggestions I've gotten are recreate the instrumentals of your favorite songs, which is a cool concept. Gonna be hard. It's probably not gonna happen. Eat an entire pack of Bean Boozled. That's not gonna fucking that's a fuck no. Fuck no. Why? I'm gonna die. Then again, it doesn't say. Then again, I wouldn't have to swallow it. Still not worth it. So if I hit 1,000 monthly listeners, I'll do something. I don't know what. I'll do something. I'm open to more suggestions. So that is everything I got from my wonderful Instagram community. Maybe it's good that I don't have more followers. Maybe that's for the best. So yeah, we've covered a few topics in this. I don't have much more to talk about for today, but again, I do want to have some guests on for the next coming episodes, and I'm very excited for that. God damn my yawns. Yeah, I do like doing this podcast. It's just, after 5 fucking years, I still love YouTube. I still love doing YouTube videos, and this is chill, easy, and fun. So, I'm excited to do this weekly again, and of course, you guys can stay updated. You guys can stay updated on my Instagram, or you can subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications. But YouTube's bad with notifications, so maybe just follow me on Instagram. But yeah, I think that's all. We talked about why I've been away. Then we talked about the PS5. We talked about 6ix9ine. We talked about my biggest fucking song. We talked about the EP and music video coming up. And we talked about the podcast on the podcast. And I think now is a good time to end the podcast. Thank you everybody for tuning in. And if you are watching this in the future, thank you for watching. I'm gonna get going, and I'll be back next week with a guest who I don't even know, but we'll both find out. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. Peace the fuck out.